CPU access and memory access for instances which run on a piece of physical hardware. The trouble is that most hypervisors are designed for a world where you're running one or maybe a small single-digit number of servers. And that's just not true in the cloud. We run tens of thousands of instances. We provision 60 million instances on EC2 every single day. And so we saw an opportunity here to drive better efficiency. And because of the scale at which we operate, because of the customers that we have, and the use cases that they have, and the generality of those use cases, it really does become important to be able to take that invention and improve the capabilities for everyone. And so what Nitro does is it removes the majority of the hard work of this big, flabby, janky piece component of the system, the hypervisor, and offloads it to a custom piece of hardware and some custom services that provides a very, very thin layer on the physical server and allows us to administer those servers at scale. And so what that allows us to do is much more fine-grained, much more high-performance, low-jitter networking. It provides fast access to EBS access to file stores. And because the software that runs on the instance is much thinner, not only can we provide more of those resources to you, so there's no virtualization overhead, it allows us to do bare metal effectively in the cloud, but it's also a much smaller security threat. The vector of attack is much, much reduced because of this approach. And so you can take advantage of Nitro pretty much anywhere that you run on AWS. It's allowed us to provide over 500 instance types of compute types. And these span anything from general purpose instances, memory optimized, storage optimized, compute optimized, even accelerated computing with GPUs, all delivered through Nitro, far more than any other cloud provider. We're also, through Nitro, able to provide the latest choice of processors, whether you run on Intel Xeon, you're choosing AMD EPYC, or you're using our own custom silicon, and I'll talk more about it in a minute, or you want to use M1 on our Mac-based instances, or if you want to use accelerators, like GPUs from NVIDIA, we have machine learning acceleration from Havana, and FPGAs available all on AWS, enabled through this Nitro system. Another thing that we can do at the sort of scale that we operate, which would be very hard to do in your own data center, just because it's expensive and incredibly time-consuming for most organizations, is to design custom silicon which we can provide to our customers. And we've been doing this for a couple of years now. We're on our third generation of our ARM-based general-purpose CPU that we call AWS Graviton. Tens of thousands of customers have migrated to Graviton over the past couple of years that we've been offering it. It's incredibly efficient and it's incredibly high power. It provides the best price performance for general purpose workloads in the cloud. And the latest generation, Graviton 3, has 25% better compute performance than Graviton 2. And large customers that have largely adopted Graviton 2 were already seeing 7x performance benefits over their previous architectures. So these things just fly. And price per watt, they are much more efficient than any other processor. About 60% less energy utilization on Graviton 3 based EC2 instances. So if you haven't made the move on EC2 to ARM-based instances of Graviton, I suggest you give it a whirl. You'll see significant improvements in almost all cases. But if you want to just use other approaches, we've baked Graviton into Amazon Fargate. So if you're doing containers, you can just get the advantages of Graviton there. And if you're doing event-based computing with Lambda, you can use Graviton under the hood as well there. And you'll see up to 34% price performance improvements just by adopting Graviton. It's as easy as a checkbox. Or if you're using any of our managed database services, or any of our managed analytics services. Again, Graviton is just there as a checkbox that you can select. You get all of these price efficiencies, all of this power efficiency, right in the tips of your fingers. So there's a lot of advantages to running in the cloud. There's a lot of innovation that at the scale in which we operate at AWS, we're able to provide to our customers. And that invention provides enormous benefits in things that really matter over time. Security, price, performance, service delivery, and the breadth of capability that we see. And as a result of all those things, customers are able to build magical, wonderful technologies.
好的，看完 Dr. Matt Wood 他的第一段精彩分